Greetings, blessings, and gratitude for choosing Info Dissected, the podcast with Chuks Kae-C. In this episode, we need to talk about love and respect.
Welcome, one and all. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a good episode, talking about lots of amazing things, as we always do. So, yeah, how's your week been?
I had some coursework to do that I got done, completed that, and I've now got all my studies out of the way. So that's fantastic, and which also seals my probationary period. So I am now on a 4-day week, which means that I can dedicate 1 day of the week to doing what I want to do. Fantastic.
That is fantastic, to be fair. For me, I'd say obstacle, general dealing with calls at work. It's been a bit of a slow week as far as work's concerned. There's been a bit of downtime and a bit of kind of, having to deal with people I didn't want to deal with. And so that kind of moses on into my triumph, which is not mashing up. But yeah, triumphantly, I've kept it all, not had no arguments, not had no problems with nobody. It's been a pretty mellow week. So yeah, it's been a good week.
So,
Yeah.
topic for today, it is the love and respect.
I think you should lead that one because I'm kind of the second one.
So, the topic is love and respect. What the difference is between the two, whether you can have one without the other, and I guess personal definition of the two. So, and if one is more important than the other. So if we maybe go into the difference between the two, but then I think that probably leads on to what our individual definitions are. So,
Exactly.
the last time you asked me what love is, or love, I was very much speaking from a father-daughter relationship perspective, but I don't believe that it's very different. My answer surrounded the relationship with my dad, but I will say that a lot of it was about being able to, I think, trust wholeheartedly that a person kind of has your best interests at heart. For me, love, I guess, has a huge trust element, but my actual definition, I can't quite articulate it in a way that makes sense to, I want to say, the average person.
You have no idea what the average person will understand or how well you can articulate.
I feel like my expectation of love is possibly not of this world.
Even if you do say so yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's it kind of pushes me back to the whole selective, because I know what my love is like. I may not be able to say, okay, this is what my love looks like and feels like, but the people that I love know what it feels like, and they also know when it's not present. So for somebody, or not even when it's not present, because I don't just stop loving people, but there may be a shift in energy, for example.
Can I ask you something before you go further? You said you know what your love feels like to you to express, or what other people feel when you love them. Do you, I don't know whether want or expect or any of these words are the right thing, is that what you expect from somebody else? If we're talking about love, but if family love, if we're talking parent-child, if we're talking with a partner, if it's whatever we're talking with a friend, whatever, are you expecting somebody else to love you in the same way that you love them?
If I'm honest, I've not had that experience before. Maybe I've just not come across somebody who loves in the same way that I do or expresses in the same way that I do. Yeah, I can't articulate it because it is just energy. It's literally energy. So whether that is in a romantic relationship with my children, with my parents, it's almost like when you have a plant and you're taking care of it and you see it blossoming versus when you think, do you know what? It'll be fine for a couple of days. I'm just gonna do my thing. And you notice that the leaves are looking a little bit disheveled or there's something not quite right. When I am putting that energy or love into people, regardless of who they are, I see that. So um have I ever had people put energy into me that makes me feel that way? Yes, I have.
But
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot.
don't get scared. You better finish that thought.
My children, if we're not singing, we're ramping, we're jumping on each other, like, and then we have our time where we're just like cuddled up like a three bears, like just chill. So yeah, they definitely help me to blossom, to feel good. Obviously, there are times where I need a stick to prop me up because yeah, I just feel a bit mash up. But I would definitely say that they water me. Um, my dad, we've spoken about before. I don't even want to go into individual people because then it just people will hear and oh, you didn't mention me, and don't I make you feel that way? I feel like my version of love is quite intense, and so I'm a very all or nothing person. And if I can't be all with a person, then it doesn't really make sense. And in order for me to be all with a person, I need to feel like I'm being watered back. I do. There's water, and then there's purified water, and then there's plant. So I'll just leave that one there and I'll let you do your love, and then we'll go on to respect. Otherwise,
all right, what I'll say is I had a little look just as like what the quick definition is, whatever it is, wherever it comes from. And it just said simply love is an intense feeling of deep affection. And then I was like, all right, cool. On like a broad level, encompassing all the different examples that you were talking about, whether it's romantic love, whether it's parent for a child or child for a parent, whatever, siblings or friendship, whatever. So yeah, I suppose, yeah, in general terms, it's an intense feeling of deep affection. Even though all the different loves are different, whether it's romantic love, there's going to be like maybe a physical element's going to be the huge separator for me. Like, as in, I don't know, whether it's just the physical element of displaying your love and affection for somebody is going to be different to that, where maybe with a friend, for example, or sibling, or parent, child, whatever. But I think underneath all of that, I think for me, there's a level of, it's weird now because I'm saying it and it seems like, like sometimes you want to say something, but it feels like it's not even the right thing to say. But there's like a sense of, because I refuse to be scared in certain situations. So what I'll say is this: I feel like there's an element of obligation attached with me to love, right? So I know for some people that's going to sound like you're being forced to do something, and maybe on some level there's an element of that, but it's a force that I put on myself, or my life experience, or my perspective means that's what I feel like is my obligation or is my responsibility even. So obviously, you as a parent, like I feel that it's my responsibility to prioritize my child over myself. And that's something that is debated with other people where they feel like, you can't pour out of an empty cup, and that even applies to your children, and you have to kind of prioritize all of these kind of things. But I definitely feel like, for me, love is something that I have to do. For me, it's about doing an action.
Yeah.
For me, it's about actions in addition to feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So support and listening and kind of being able to drop what you're doing and things that are important to yourself and prioritizing somebody else's feelings over yours, in as long as they don't crash down your whole life. I feel like it's an important thing to be able to prioritize the people you love's feelings and requirements. I mainly do it for people that I've got love for. Love is a feeling, and deep affection and deep care. It comes with a responsibility. It comes with obligations to prioritize and support and help somebody. There's a separation between just being a nice person and doing things because it's nice to be nice, and actually prioritizing somebody's whether it's success or peace or happiness or growth or healing because of their connection to you. I hope some of that at least made sense.
Even with everything that we've just said, there still isn't a definitive answer. It's like ideas of what we see versus what other people see of us, and also what that feels like to both sides, and it then feeling different to different people depending on who those people are. An interesting exercise would be to maybe ask people who you say you love how they feel loved by you, or what about my actions tells you that I love you. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for them. It's the dependability, like they know
Okay.
If whatever's within my power to give them if they need it, it will be provided. And that I have their back, and I'm calm and placid and amicable and reasonable on every level. But when it comes to my kids, please don't write with me, because you will see someone you didn't know existed. If you were to ask my dad then the same question, his answer would be different, right? And my mom and whoever else. So
do you think? Because obviously this is all like you know what you would want your kids to say, but we don't know until we ask them. But what do you think
maybe
your
we could
dad's
do that
answer
one
would be?
day.
I think
100%.
you can ask them yourself, and then you report back what the answer
No.
was.
I'm not in a plating. I'll call one of them straight now and say, come.
Nah, you don't want to put them under pressure like that. You want a real answer without no outside
that means
influence.
it's a real answer. That means
You
it.
think
Hold on.
realizing that people are going to be listening and then, oh gosh, man. See,
Hold on.
you're like my mother. You're like my mother, you know. My brethren will tell you this is what my mother would do. We would be at an event, and me and my brethren would just be here minding our own business, carrying bags and boxes, and she'd be like, "Get up on the stage." I told them this, that, and the other, and oh my gosh, all right, you can't say no.
But the thing is, I don't want it to be doctored, and I may actually learn something in this exercise. So,
100%.
hold on. Ava, come here a second. Yeah, stand a bit closer so I can hear you.
How you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm all right, thanks. Quick question: How do you know that your mum loves you?
Actions.
Like,
what actions are we talking about?
Yeah, elaborate.
Like generally, like being there for me when I'm having those times, or things like when something at schools happens, she'll come into the school and talk with like teachers and stuff about it, even though she doesn't have to. And like when she's around me, her like facial expressions, emotions, like
you feel like your mum would protect you no matter what. I like that. Salute to you. Salute to you. And salute to your mum, obviously.
Is there anything that I could do differently, honestly, that would make you feel more loved?
I wouldn't say so, no. All of the time you're the only time you ever do something that I don't like is when you want the best for me. So there isn't, if I brought up something you've done that I don't like, oh, in my head, I'll know that there was a reason for it. So there's not really anything that you could change.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Ay, bless you. Look. Hey, cyber hugs, long distance ones. Huh? Yeah, man, that must have been nice to hear. You done good. Beautiful thing. It's what every parent wants. You know? Beautiful to hear, beautiful to see. And that's what parents want, you know? Like she said, even though she knows, there's times where in the moment she doesn't agree, she doesn't even understand. I think the most telling thing for me was that even though she doesn't even understand why, the faith that she has in you makes her know that it's for her in best interest. You've got her best interest. It's like, that's the thing that I think is the most amazing part. You know, for me personally, that's the thing that I was like, well, yeah, that's something that is going to stand her in good stead in life and in this relationship long term between the two of you. Is everything is kind of underpinned with that. Like, okay, I disagree with that. I might want to do this. I might not understand. But even no matter what, I know this, and that doesn't mean she ain't going to go against certain things, but that's for me, the most important thing in understanding a parent as a child, I think, is knowing that no matter what, deep down, they want the best for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what creates the most messed up children, is when they don't have that.
Yeah.
And can't even get it later on with adult understanding, you know? I think that's where the real problems come. That was beautiful. Well done, you. As I tell you all the time, salute to you, super parent and all that. But let's talk about, salute, definitely. Let's talk respect.
Yes.
What's the difference?
We've touched on this before, and I kind of said that I value respect more than love. And well, I say that, but having heard what I've just heard, I don't believe that respect could allow her to answer that question in that way. Because I don't do the things that I do for my kids because I respect them. I do it because I love them. In adult life, for me, respect is more important. From my kids as well, it's important. They can say, yeah, mum, I love you, I love you, I love you, till the cows come home. But if when I give you an instruction, or I tell you I don't want you to do a certain thing, or I don't feel that this is age appropriate for you, and then they go behind my back, or they don't follow that instruction, that for me will affect our relationship, regardless of the fact that I love them. And that's with any relationship. So for me, respect, and what my gran kind of instilled in me, is if someone respects you, they will put your feelings before their own, in a nutshell. So, you know, and a big part of that is integrity, right? If I say to my kids, I don't want you to go here, then it doesn't mean if I'm running late coming home from work that you end up there looking at the time like some people used to do. Because that's lack of respect. Not because I don't see you and I'm not going to be aware means you go and do it anyway. And in romantic relationships, I'm cheating and all the rest of it, like, she's not going to find out, blah, blah, blah. If you were putting that person's, or he's not going to find out, goes both ways. If you're putting that other person's feelings for your own, you're not going to be doing that and just doing it under the guise that you're not going to be caught. So for me, respect is exactly that, putting someone else's feelings before your own. And I think that's huge, because you can say you love someone, but you don't bring that to the table, or that's not what you demonstrate. I love you, but I'm going to go off and do this anyway. Or I love you, but I'm going to chat about you behind your back. Or I love you, but yeah, it's a no-brainer for me.
Okay, so that was that. So your answer is saying what, that you think respect has more value than love in the sense of behavior and how people interact with each other, but maybe not necessarily as far as the relationship or the feelings towards somebody.
I think, yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I'm trying to think of all the different relationships that I have where love and respect reside, and there aren't many. There are far more people that I love than respect.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. And I would say that the ones who I love and respect feel that energy that I was speaking about before when I was describing love in a different way. Because if I love somebody but I don't respect them, I'm loving with barriers. I love you, but I'm sorry, but I may not speak to you for months because I have to protect myself from you. And so if you are somebody who I have to love with barriers, I can't respect you. And so therefore, when we're talking about respect and putting their feelings first, I'm not going to do that. So an example of that may be the person who I love, their birthday's coming up, we haven't spoken for months, and what I may do is I may just send a text message, happy birthday or bless up or whatever. And that's me showing I've remembered, you are in my thoughts, wishing you a lovely day, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to put your feelings before mine based on the fact that you have presented or you put this barrier between us because of your behavior, your conduct, something that you've done to me that is completely out of pocket, hurtful, whatever. Love is me acknowledging you, like you're in my thoughts and we're good. There's no bad blood. The love will enable me to do that. The respect will make me think, do you know what? We may not have spoken in ages, but there's an element of this that I can understand from their perspective. And that's when I do my whole empathy thing, thinking out of the box. Why has this happened? Rare. Shall I do this? Like, I've done it so many times. And the issue is that there have been occasions where the respect will allow me to put aside my feelings and put their feelings first, but then they will show me repeatedly that I probably shouldn't have bothered in the first place. Like I said, I know what energy I give, so I just have to be selective. And as much as I say, I put myself in people's situation, blah, 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 I'm far from a walkover. I know which battles to fight and which battles to walk away from. And I've spent far too many years seeing the best in people, even when it wasn't there. And so to the point where I'm just like, if this is what you're showing me, then this is what I have to accept. We're not there now. Like, it's self-preservation and evolving and growing and understanding self and all the rest of it. So sometimes when I speak, it's from who I was. And that was very much who I was. Like, and you teach people how to treat you. And so that's a huge part of respect as well. Respecting yourself so that if someone does disrespect you, you make it known. And how they respond to that is how I then move forward. What is your definition of respect?
Look at the dictionary definition, which was, it says, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. So when I read that, I was like, okay, so respect is more, the dictionary definition of the word is more caught up in kind of what people can do for you or the things that you can see from them.
Mhm.
Respect is something that I can lose for people way more easily than I can lose love for people.
Mm-hmm.
When I lose respect for somebody, automatically the next step is losing love for somebody. I can lose love for somebody that I still respect. When I lose respect for somebody, I can love them. I could be seen as rude at times, could be seen as thoughtless at times, but it's, for me anyway, it's never coming from a place of disrespect for the people that I love. When that disrespect comes from a place of actual disrespect, the love is gone. Because if I love somebody, I can't disrespect them.
Okay.
That's how I'm wired. You understand? I might not be meaning to be disrespectful, and somebody else might perceive it as disrespect. All of these things, but as in intentionally and on purpose, actually trying to or being disrespectful, it's not something that I do with people that I love. And we can get into why and how and what my theories are to why that is whenever, but that's just my version of love, right? If I feel disrespected, once again, this is something that is a huge trigger for me, is a huge kind of catalyst for me to act out of character and me to behave in ways that aren't, I don't know, conducive to who I want to be.